All right, Chef Nick Leahy. Here we are at X, spelled AIX. First of all, thank you for being here with us.
Thank you for coming.
What are we drinking today?
Having a little rosé. It wouldn't be right to start a conversation in a Provencal restaurant in the summer without it. My wife and I were talking for years about wanting to open our own concept, and as we looked around town, there's a lot of really good French restaurants, but there's not very many that celebrate Provence specifically there. So we really wanted to take all those food memories I had from the south of France growing up and things that I'm really passionate about and give them a voice in this restaurant. In the south of France, you've got a lot more international influence. People from Italy that live there, people from Switzerland that live there, people from Spain that live there, trade routes from North Africa. Right. So you have all these sort of French techniques and methods, but they're in like a broader spectrum. And it's a little bit more rustic, a little bit more, it's like the country version of French food. Yeah. And I think it's also like a more open-minded take on French food. Try to pull in some of the sort of Provençal textures and colors and things like that. We have touches like the stone wall, which you see all through Provence, the white plaster walls, copper and things like that we pull in, but we didn't want to make it too in your face. We have the wine room behind us, which is sort of one of our favorite parts because that kind of looks like an old wine cave in France. It's actually got one of Tintin's recipes from her recipe book. Tintin was my great aunt. She was like the matriarch of the French family. She was the one holding court at the table, putting together all the big family dinners. She was always at her stove with a glass of rosé.
X and Tintin right next door. I joke, but I mean this in the best possible way. The West Side is the best side.
We have a little phrase that we like to use when we're talking about the staff, and it's à ce moment, which means in this moment in French. And it goes on to be in regards to in the moment of the seasonality, in the moment of the experience, in the moment of sharing stuff across the table. So it's what we try to use as our mantra.
So talk to me about the difference between the two spots and what can people expect when they come here.
So at X, it's a little bit more traditional. The food is purely Provençal, so whether that means it's a true dish of Provence that we're doing our take on, that's what's happening here. Over at Tintin, it's a wine bar or a cave à vin. It's a little bit more shared plates, it's a bit more charcuterie, it's a bit more about lingering over the plate. It is a great special events room because it has its own full bar in it.
Both places feel like you could dress it up or dress it down. It depends on your kind of in the moment feeling, however you're feeling in that moment. Give me your perfect order.
Tintin always said that every good meal starts with champagne and oysters. It is a French restaurant, so maybe have the foie gras torchon after that. Something simpler like the ratatouille vol au vent or something if you want to go seasonal. The one dish that's been on our menu since we opened is the bouillabaisse, kind of an iconic dish of Provence. What we try to do is cook each of the different seafoods individually, so we're steaming the mussels and clams, we're searing the scallop, we're butter poaching the shrimp, we're cooking the fish. And then we bring it all to the plate and we do a tableside pour of this very sort of soulful bouillabaisse broth. So you get all the soul of the bouillabaisse, but it's a little bit more refined.
You're still tasting the brine, you're still getting that feel.
I think one thing that I really learned when I was in England working in that environment was to sort of get out of the way of the ingredients a little bit. Like, don't fuss with them too much. Yeah. Every step you're doing should be something that sort of just holds the ingredient up a little bit and highlights it. But don't put 14 things on the plate so you lose the essence of what you're trying to cook.
It feels like it's mindful cooking.
Yeah. If you come in as a two-top, get the bouillabaisse and the lamb, and you'll kind of get the whole spectrum.
There you go. What's a good way to kind of, stretch your legs a little bit, get out there and not, we'd love for you to come to X every single night, but if you're not, what's a good way to kind of find a new niche?
My favorite place to eat in Atlanta is Buford Highway.
Yeah.
You go up and down it and try out places and you'll find two that you love for every one that you don't. And
and don't be intimidated. People want to feed you. People want you to have a good time. It's the experience of dining has changed.
I think you have to do something that just makes your experience unique, and that's what people come back for. I think the days of white tablecloth and fine dining and roses and candles and things everywhere is less and less important to people, and it's more about just the experience they're having at the table. Let people have their own experience, but you want to give them the opportunity to have a unique experience within your restaurant. You just have to sort of
be adventurous.
Be adventurous and give things a try.